Okay. Hi, Helen. We're,
Hi.
we're starting today this uh, our conversations about, and we're calling it, I think, Curious About Healing, which the whole point is to talk about spiritual healing, or actually, what I prefer, energy healing, but it's often known as healing, spiritual healing, energy healing, because lots of people don't really know
Mm.
about it.
I think
Um,
it's a bit confusing, isn't it? Because it is called lots of different things, and people don't necessarily know that actually we're talking about
uh,
one thing, really.
Yes, the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, should we just say who we are, and then I think it would probably be good to start talking about about healing. So,
Eh?
um, do you want to start, Helen?
No, no, you start.
Okay, okay. Well, I am Dr. Sue Mason. I My background's in nursing, and I also was joint head of a clinical trials research unit. And so I really didn't have a background in anything woo-woo at all. But then I came into finding out about healing, and now I'm very passionate about it. And I'm now director of a healing organization called Omnes Healing, which yeah, it's a member organization, and we teach healing, and it's a really lovely community there actually, of which you are one of
Of
them.
which I'm one, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about you.
Yes, so my name's Helen Dunn. I am a retired lawyer. I've always been sort of quite spiritual, looking for why we're here, what is the truth of things, and that's been something that I've struggled with my whole life.
Mm,
I came to Omnes because I was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago,
mm,
and I had surgery and I was having chemotherapy. And when somebody who's now a very good friend found out about this, and via another friend passed their number on and said, "Look, I'm an energy healer, and I'd like to do some healing for Helen if she's interested."
mm,
So of course I was like, "Oh, anything!
mm,
I'll try anything to make me feel better right now."
mm,
So that's how I came to it. That I had some healing via this friend,
mhm.
and I felt so much better. So I carried on with it, and then
When you say
wanted
so
to know
much
more.
better, what actually did you feel?
It's it was whilst I was having chemotherapy,
Mm,
and so I pretty much recovered from the surgery.
mm,
Um, Major surgery. It's a hysterectomy. Um, but as I guess a lot of people know, with chemotherapy, it has a cumulative effect.
mm,
You feel desperately tired in a way that no amount of rest
mm,
will touch it.
mm,
And brain fog and nausea and just progressively more and more
mm,
horrible as it goes on.
mm,
And it's very difficult to describe, but every time I went for healing, it lifted me. I just felt better, more stronger, more invigorated, better able to carry on
mm,
through the process that I was having to go through.
mm,
Um, and yeah, so I had several sessions through. I had about 18 weeks of chemotherapy every 3 weeks. And I was having healing sessions throughout that.
mm,
And then once I finished my treatment,
mm,
I already knew I wanted to know more about it.
mm, mm.
So I did the Omnes workshop, which was about raising your own energetic vibrations, which I guess we'll come to um,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this talk.
Yeah.
And then started the first stage of training to become a healer, and I'm now on the second part of that course. And
Yeah.
I'm loving it, and I just feel that this is something that's been waiting for me all my life, and
Mm.
I'm so glad that I've come to it now.
That's great. That's great. Shall I tell you how I came to healing then?
Yeah.
Because my story is really very different to yours. It's interesting how people do come to healing. Um, my uncle one Christmas, who was a lovely guy, a mild-mannered businessman, just announced that he was doing a spiritual healing course, and we just went, "What?" You know, that's very, off the wall. And I started asking him about it, and I just thought I was really curious. So he gave me the phone number of somebody near where I lived, and I phoned her up and said, "Look, I'm interested to learn about healing." And she said, "Oh, well, the next course is," and she was telling me, and I said, "No, no, 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 you got it completely wrong. I don't want to be a healer. I'm just interested, in it." And she said, "Well, to be honest, the best way of finding out about it is to start. I think they
Mm,
had an introductory course at the time, so I spoke to my husband and said, would you look after the children on these days, kind of thing. And I enrolled for this course, but it was 3 months down the line, 3 months time. So I thought, okay. So she said, in the meantime, practice. She said, just ask for loving healing to go to plants or animals or your children. And I mean, I wouldn't actually say this to anybody now because I don't think that's not teaching you energetic protection or anything beforehand. But anyway, this is what she said.
mm,
So I found myself in the kitchen in front of a cactus with my hands out and thinking, oh, for goodness sake, I mean, I just thought it was stupid. I completely forgot about it till about a fortnight before I was due to go on this course. And I said, but I end up with a cold and I was wheezing and I was in bed at about 3 in the morning, wheezing away. I think, oh God, I've got to get out and get my inhaler. And I just thought, I'll give this healing lark a go. So, and those are literally my words. So I just thought, please, God, I mean, I had no idea.
mm,
I just said, please, can I have some healing? And what I felt was a band of heat round my chest. I saw a blue light in my mind's eye, and the wheezing, which had been going on for a good half hour or more, just stopped, just like that. And I thought, I was really shocked actually. I thought, oh my goodness, what power's been unleashed here? I was quite
mm,
scared.
mm,
But I thought, but I am not wheezing. So I just thought, well, I still got a headache. So I put my hands over my head. And next thing I knew, I was awake in the morning. And I said to my husband, you will not believe what happened to me last night. So what happened was when I went to that course, instead of sort of because I was working at the trials unit where you want evidence and triangulation of data and everything. And so instead of sitting there at the back rolling my eyes, I thought, well, I know there's something going on here. I need to find out what this is.
mm,
Yeah, so that
mm.
was my introduction to healing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm just thinking, should we stop now? I think and carry on another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, we could go on forever, couldn't we?
Well, we could.
Um,
Yes, but I think bore people to bed to death
yeah.
if we did
Yeah.
that. Yeah, let's cut it up into small bits. So,
Yes.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. Cheers.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.